Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name's Farah Halabi and I'm a professional Muslimah life coach, and I'd like to ask you, as always, a question. Are you an overthinker? Do you question yourself all the time? Do you question the decisions you make? Do you think, if only I'd done differently? Do you have that thing where you go out for dinner and you're ordering something to eat and then you get that, you look over at what someone else is eating or what your partner's eating or what everyone else in your party is eating, you think, should have chosen that one, should have chosen that dish, wish I hadn't chosen this now. Do you think about what would have happened if you'd made a slightly different decision? Or do you think about and play out the different things that will happen, the different outcomes that are possible before you make a decision even? Now, again, asking you lots and lots of questions because I am a bit of a nosy Parker, but essentially we all think a lot. And when people say that they're overthinkers, or they just have so much on their mind, like it's just too much, that it's just think. Is it possible to overthink? What is it that you're overthinking? If you're thinking about something, what's the difference between thinking about it and overthinking it? Or is it thinking about it again and again and again? Because once you've had a thought, that's it. If you think about the same thing again, it's a separate thought. It's still the same content, but it's separate thought. So can you overthink something? Or are you just constantly thinking about the same thing? Or constantly questioning whether you have done the right thing? Or constantly wondering, mulling over, should I have done that? Shouldn't I have done that? Should I have said that? Should I have gone there? Should I have stayed home? Should I have eaten that? Shoulda, woulda, couldas. All uncertain, because there's no certainty there. How do you know for definite that if you'd chosen something else in the restaurant that you would have loved it more? How do you know if you turned right instead of left that things would have been different in your life? How do you know if you had just not said that, things would have been any different? Or if you just said it in the right way? Again, it's not so much the things that we do or the decisions that we make, it's the impact of how we think about those decisions. What terms, what defines a good decision? Is it if things have gone the way that you'd like? But do you think, oh, that was a great decision? Or is it when things don't go the way that you thought that they would, or they don't go as expected, or you're not feeling a certain way that you expected to feel? Would that then deem or define it a bad decision? How much time in your day, or how much time do you think in your life you spend mulling over decisions? And how much action do you actually take? Or are you just always thinking about, well, I could do this or I could do that, but actually not doing much at all? What's the fruit of your overthinking, or thinking consistently, or lots and lots of thinking? If it's lots and lots of action, alhamdulillah, great. But one thing's for certain: if you think about things a lot but take no action, what difference in your world would that make when you take no action, when you don't do anything? Think a lot about stuff. Think about it, consumes your mind, been on your mind a long time, going through all the feels, wondering if you've made the right decision, or if it's the right decision, if it's the right choice, and in the end just not choosing anything. All that time spent thinking and going through a roller coaster of emotion, feeling elated, oh yeah, no, this is definitely it, or worried, frustrated, sad, confused, and then you end up taking no action at all. You take no action, nothing changes in your life. if you take action, or if you do something, just anything, even if it's a little thing, something will change in your life. It's like, for there to be a ripple effect, you know, for there to be something that happens, you have to have, you know, thrown a pebble. If you don't throw the pebble, you just sit there with the pebble in your hand. No ripples, no change, no difference, same old. So I'll ask you, what is getting in the way for you? What is stopping you? What's the biggest obstacle for you that is really kind of sitting in the middle of making a decision and taking action on that? The bit in the middle, what is it that is clouding or preventing you from actually doing what you want, taking action, doing, saying, being even who you want to be? Might have thought about it lots and lots and lots, especially if you've been watching any of my videos. I do ask you to reflect and think about yourself, think about what's going on in your life, think about what you want a lot. And with all the thinking, what is standing in the way of thinking about this life that you want to create and actually taking action to live in it? I know lots of questions again, but what comes up for you? I'd love to know. I was going to say I bet my hijab. I know the answer, but I'm not going to. Not that I'm a betting person anyway. But for a lot of the people that I work with, a lot of the amazing women that I feel very blessed and very honoured to actually, you know, share a space with, after we really uncover and build that, well, first of all, build that safe space, a very trusting, confidential, non-judgmental space, and there is a platform to really bring what's inside, what's going on up here, what's going on in here, out, and sifting it through and making sense of it. And when we do that, there is so much, it's like mining for gold. There are so many gems that come up. There's a lot of sand, there's a lot of, you know, fluff, but there are so many gems to be, you know, to be discovered. And when you find out, or when you see for yourself, you know, what is covering your gems, what is covering that nugget of gold that is the, you know, is the answer or the solution to what is getting in the way of you actually being, creating, doing, having the life that you want and loving that life, creating a life that you want, but creating a life that you will love. When you see for yourself what's getting in the way, then there's clarity, but there's a workable, then we know what we're up against, and we can, you know, work through it, overcome it, because we know what we're dealing with. We know what the blockage is, we know what the challenge is, we know what the problem is, because all the while you're thinking, consistently thinking, debating, you know, mulling it over, but not doing anything with it, life is ticking on. Life doesn't pause while you're mulling things over. Life doesn't, you know, dinner service doesn't stop when you're deciding what to eat. You know, people are bringing food out. So what's stopping you, do you think? And when you know that for yourself, what do you think you would do with that information? What difference would it make in your life? And again, lots of questions I've asked, because I, like I say, like you know, I am a nosy Parker, but I'd love to know what comes up for you, because for my clients, knowing their own personal challenges, understanding what it is that is, you know, stopping them, and then helping them with a pathway, with a framework that really makes sense to them, that works for them, that is bespoke to them. The hardest part is knowing what the challenge is. The process of getting you through, easy. But the work that is involved will be from certainty, from more of a place of certainty. You're not, you know, trying different things in the hopes that you'll, you know, be okay, or that you'll feel better, or that you'll, you know, work it out. There's, you know, it comes from the Quran and Sunnah. It's the process of the science of the Nafs. There isn't, you know, I didn't create it, subhanAllah. It comes from the one who knows us the best, from the manufacturer's guide from the Quran, that tells us how we work. Got, you know, troubleshooting guides, got the answers to everything. So when you know what the issue is, and then applying the process that speaks to you, that is bespoke to you, just imagine what kind of life you could create. I'll leave you with that. If you'd like to know more, you know where I am. And as always, I pray that you are safe, well, happy and healthy. And inshallah, I shall see you very soon for another little convo. But for now, take care. Assalamu alaikum.